TikTok, as we all know, is a cesspool of the worst people humanity has to offer. It has this magical allure around it that attracts the worst of the worst. With its promises of fame and fortune, obviously, a lot of things are about to happen. And this is going to be one of the greatest conclusions to one of the worst people imaginable.
I see Wyatt thought he was too famous to be arrested.
Put both your hands out the window.
I don't know who I am.
Yet his 1.4
I love it. You know it's gonna be special when you get hit with that old but gold classic line of, "Do you not know who I am? I'm a big deal on TikTok. I have 1 million followers. I'm big on Twitter. Oh my god. I'm a YouTuber with 10K subscribers. Do you know who I am? Don't touch me." You know it's gonna be good just from that.
4 million followers failed to help anything, as TikTok's dumbest criminal has been in jail for almost a full year. To introduce the type of guy he is,
I, by the way, have no idea who he is, but the fact that he's a dude with long nails and butterfly tattoos kind of tells me more. It tells me a better story than Raffaello could ever do.
Wyatt was employed before TikTok.
Had a job, I worked at McDonald's.
Yet a family member exposed him, stating he worked there for a
Yeah, I was gonna say he probably worked there for a day because there is no way.
week and showed up one day and they were like, "Why are you here?" He found out the previous day he showed up to work so high on Xanax that he got fired and he didn't remember any of it.
Dude, this is the best story. This is the best intro for any character you could ever have. I wonder what he went to jail for. Well, we're gonna find out.
Thankfully for Wyatt, however, a work ethic wasn't needed for his genre of TikTok content, simply being a feminine man who was attracted to women.
If I had a girlfriend, hair, nails, new bag, because I want to take care of my girl. I would be so proud to have a girlfriend and I would be obsessed with her.
That was his very first TikTok and it gained over 8
You see why the world is going to, well, not a good place? Is this really enough? I really want to see the comments. I really would love to see the comments what people said about this. 8 million views just for that.
million views, fueled by people wondering if he was actually telling the truth. I see Wyatt fed into this to achieve a repeat audience, with videos as simple as people who don't understand that I can be femme and still like girls, giving him hundreds of thousands of likes. Wyatt funneled this attention into bingo gambling sponsorships.
I am the king of...
I'm not gonna lie, that's at least smart. And to be fair, if you're a viewer of his, I mean, what's wrong with a little bit of gambling? Your life was never gonna be anything but trash anyway. Here I said it, okay? Smart people don't consume this kind of content, okay? I'm sorry, but that is what it is. At the end of the day, if you're not human garbage, you're probably not watching this guy. Unless you want to see a car wreck, in which case it is kind of actually acceptable, but not too much, not too much.
Of bingo. I am the king of gambling.
And then scolded the audience because they weren't as rich as him.
I make
Nice.
$800,000 a month year. You're not even near my tax bracket. Google me. You can see my net worth.
Maybe Wyatt had
Okay, I'm just gonna instantaneously assume he doesn't actually pay taxes, but that's okay.
an ego as he'd previously been in jail,
And I've been to jail like multiple times.
which the audience quickly realized he most definitely deserved. Because a user named KD Nail Artistry uploaded a TikTok explaining she was the one who did Wyatt's nails, and he agreed to pay me from the start at a price of $200 for 3 different sessions. Well, rather than paying, he wrote me a check from a closed bank account. He also knew I was in nail school at the time, so not only was Wyatt a total scumbag, but it also
Okay, listen, Katie, please, honey, sweetie, dear, and all of the buzzwords that make me sound gay. Please, okay? You look at this dude and you're like, oh yeah, a check from him? That's gonna work out split. No. No, Katie. You're as stupid as him, probably.
also seemed he wasn't as rich as he professed. Despite this, Wyatt only kept on bragging.
Gee, I sure do look like the disappointment of the family. But isn't it funny how I make the most
I mean, yeah, you definitely do, not gonna lie. If I was a father, I would be doing double the bad thing. You know, self and child.
Money, sit down.
Believing that you'll get much further in life by cutting off all the toxic people and focusing on becoming the main character. Wyatt
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. The idea of cutting off all the toxic things in your life is probably gonna attract a huge audience of women who literally have failed in life constantly and they do not think it's their fault. That is accidentally smart, not gonna lie. He should also do horoscope readings or something like that. That would have been epic.
seemingly went against his own advice and began dating a girl named Moore, with whom he started to spend irresponsible amounts of money.
Okay, so baby got her Vans. Hey, you know, I had to get me one too. Stop playing. We some Vans babies now.
Wyatt had his Mercedes wrapped in hot pink, while
Wow.
Moore's Mercedes was crashed within a month, introducing everyone to Wyatt's terrible driving history. He had to move out of California.
That is hilariously expectable. Nice. This guy is the poster child of judge every book by its cover. By the way, I have been advocating for that forever. Judge everything by its cover. The cover is typically not wrong. Are there exceptions? Yes. Stephen Hawking was an avid enthusiast of the Epsteinist island, okay? Which is kind of a little bit unexpected, right? But typically, judge a book by its cover. It's not wrong.
Solely because of driving offenses.
The reason why I went to Florida was because I couldn't drive here. I had like so many traffic tickets and like driving on suspended license, DUIs, everything. So I went to Florida and I got my license and it was
Nice.
perfectly fine.
And would upload an old video of his own road rage incident, trying to look tough with the title "Don't Play With Me TF." Wyatt was clearly proud of being a terrible human.
And normally I'm not that nice.
Now, to be fair, a lot of people nowadays are proud of being terrible humans. This is why we make fun of them. Because it's right. Society should not tolerate this kind of garbage.
Normally it doesn't.
And it is your responsibility to do stuff like that. Because live and let live doesn't work like that. He influences the world to be worse. You not doing anything, not calling that, hey, this guy's doing bad things out, is gonna make the world worse. Inaction, ironically, as the crazies on the left say, is actually, supporting bad things. It is true to a degree. And especially with bad people like this.
No matter who you are, I will be like, shut the up. I don't want to hear about that. Please stop talking about that. Next subject.
And nothing solidified this more than a video he accidentally posted. He'd already given the audience a tour of his house, but it was specifically on this house's front walkway that he'd kick his girlfriend out by throwing away all of her possessions. Wyatt claimed the video was posted accidentally, and the couple quickly reconciled, but the pink Mercedes seen back in the tour was about to be another problem. 25 days after getting the car, he'd post this TikTok looking all bruised and battered, which
Nice.
came with a tweet reading, "I'm gonna get some rest and try and recover. My face is in so much pain and the rest of my body." Wyatt then gave some context. He claimed that two white hillbillies attacked him unprovoked.
I was hate crimed in Florida. I was attacked by two men.
Yeah, that sounds so believable already. 10 out of 10.
My car was stuck between like a Chick-fil-A line. They backed me in so that they could both come out and come on either side of my car and attack me.
Describe like what they looked like older men,
Big,
like our age.
fat hillbilly in like a white pickup truck. That's
Yeah.
what they look like. And I'm in a pink Mercedes with this type of nails.
Yeah.
Bro, you're in a Chick-fil-A. Those have cameras. Every fast food restaurant in the world, maybe except Zimbabwe somewhere, has a camera in the drive-thru at the bare minimum.
And when he called to report the hate crime, police beat him further because he didn't take off his seatbelt.
Gosh, should I do a story time about how I got ripped out my Mercedes and my ass beat for trying to take my seatbelt off when they tell me to get out
Please
the
do,
car?
yeah.
Wyatt had filmed his own snippet of the incident.
I can't take the seatbelt off? You need to show some respect.
Posting only what made him look like a victim.
You need to show some respect, boy. Nice.
with the caption, "Sunrise County Police in Broward County ambushed me in my neighborhood hours after I had called for help in a road rage incident earlier in the day. They didn't send anyone to help me, but came to my house hours later and held me at gunpoint. This is not okay." Wyatt was clearly the victim here, right? Well, later that day, TMZ posted
Yeah, I don't believe that for a second, honestly.
their own article. TikTok star Icy Wyatt arrested for battery on police officer, which clarified he was booked on Monday night for 2 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, 1 count of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, 1 count of battery on an officer, and 1 count of resisting arrest. Wyatt's innocence was suddenly in question.
Oh wow, they went full on him. Because the reality is you can actually, like, do one of these things or 2 of these things, but they went on everything. Jeez.
Innocence was suddenly in question, yet he continued to claim I was the victim. This was in self-defense, also adding I didn't batter the police.
I mean, if I was him, I would also lie. Not gonna lie. It's pretty easy. Your life is shit. You're a scumbag. What are you gonna do? Not lie? There's not a lot to lose.
I was handed my phone, and then another officer ripped it out of my hand, and because I didn't release it right away, he said I assaulted him. On TikTok, Wyatt maintained it was all police's fault.
The rumors are not true. There will be several news stories coming out soon about what actually happened. The police were in many wrongs.
Until the body cam footage was publicly released. To nobody's surprise, Wyatt wasn't actually hate crimed. It began with him parked in the middle of the street, yelling at a random lady, leading the 2 white hillbillies to stand up for the woman. They politely told Wyatt to get back in the car, stop blocking traffic, to which Wyatt responded by pistol whipping them, throwing a drink on their car, and driving erratically in front of them.
Is anyone surprised? Honestly, hillbilly should be like a recommendation letter of being a good person at this point, almost to a degree.
Almost hitting a lady with her infant baby as he sped away from the scene. In a beautiful display of stupidity, Wyatt then called police himself, reporting, "I just pulled over because somebody just tried to kill me in the car. This truck came up and tried to cut me off. So I pulled over to the next lane and
Oh, misclick. Do you know what's the most hilarious part about this crap? It's the fact that these people, they commit the crime, and then they try to say that, no, I didn't do it, the other guy did the crime. That is so stupid. This is so common. So common in American politics and everything. You do something, and then you're like, no, they did the thing. Yeah, they did. It's insane. How do you commit the crime and then say, oh no, that guy did it actually. I didn't even do it. It's just dumb. Also, again, cameras, they exist.
Cut me off. So I pulled over to the next lane, and again he's trying to swerve into my lane and tried to hit the car, yet this is actually what he'd done to them. Wyatt then continued lying, and then I had 4 guys jump out of the car and say, we're gonna beat the crap out of you and stuff, failing to—
Dude, listen. He should have said this is MAGA country. He should have said it. They said this is MAGA country. Remember that guy? They put a new show on. No, that one was epic. That one was good.
To include that he'd pistol whipped them after. After speaking with these hillbillies, police discovered the truth, showing up at Wyatt's house to arrest him, where he'd speak the infamous line, "Y'all don't know who I am." Wyatt maintained I didn't hit no—
I do not respect a single person, by the way, who uses the word y'all. I just don't. I think that's an instant lottery winner out of the gene pool ticket.
Who I am. Wyatt maintained I didn't hit nobody, claiming his girlfriend was there to confirm his story.
My girlfriend can't be a witness to.
Was she with you?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, we can talk to her when she gets here.
Moore then showed up to tell her side, yet it was later shown by this frame that Moore wasn't even there at the time. Wyatt's final defense of having a gun was because he drove a bright pink car who is famous online and gets messed with on the freeways all the time, as if it's been a lifelong issue, and he didn't just buy the car 4 weeks before. He added, I have millions of followers. People make this stuff up all the time, to which the cop responded,
if he had 2 million million followers. Okay, let's say it's fair to say I have millions of followers, but he has a million, okay? Relax.
Everybody knows who you are.
Prompting Wyatt to add, I have 58 million followers. Everybody who's been on TikTok or Instagram has seen who I am. Before spending the night in jail, Wyatt...
Yeah, I had literally no clue who this guy is. And I kind of want him. It's hilarious. But, you know, still. Arguably, I would be more happy if I didn't know who he is.
Bragged about his jewelry.
You know this is an $80,000 chain I'm wearing next to your person, right?
Being released the following day and posting a celebratory TikTok.
You can't get rid of me, bitch! I'm not going nowhere!
Wyatt then called the paparazzi on himself to claim the "don't you know who I am" phrase was referring to him being the one who called police.
I called the police and told them that this whole altercation happened. So when they pulled up, I said, "Don't you know who I am?"
He's the one who
Don't you know who I am?
TPG Hollywood Street interviews. Yeah, I have absolutely no idea what this is. It's probably some kind of dying site anyway.
Bragging about his followers was due to his head injury.
I'm not slurring my words until they slam my head on the ground. Then I'm like, oh, I have 58 million followers.
Which was covered by a brand new tattoo of his girlfriend's name on his face. Despite treating the arrest
well, honestly, that's the least he should do, considering she lied for him.
like one massive joke, Wyatt was in serious trouble.
So yeah, I might be facing 20 years in prison because of this night.
Yet he'd still
Slay Queen! Yes! No, that's no. Be a little bit more happy. Come on, this is great news. Be a little bit more upbeat about it. Come on, everyone's excited now.
post TikToks such as this one.
All right, y'all. Do y'all think I should get this 2021 Range Rover, or should I get a G-Wagon?
Leading to many comments mocking him. If I were facing up to 20 years, I don't think looking for a new vehicle would be at the top of my list of things to do. Additionally, because Wyatt was now awaiting trial,
If I got pulled over, I could get the maximum sentence. 10
Yeah.
years.
leading to a TikTok beef with his very own mother. She simply gave Wyatt the
I'd do her. I'm not gonna lie, I would do her. I would do it. Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, she definitely looks crazy with the hairstyle and whatnot, but yeah, I would, yeah. Hey, at the end of the day, you know, onward.
most obvious advice ever.
She's like, well, you know you're not supposed to be driving. If you get pulled over, you're gonna go to jail for 10 years, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, girl, can we talk about this another time? Like, I'm really not trying to hear about this. She's like, okay, well, I'll talk to you about it later.
Bruh, you see, this is what happens when your mom doesn't bitch slap you when you start saying stuff like this, okay?
And I'm like, no, I don't ever want to talk to you about it unless I bring it up because that's something that triggers me.
Leading to their
Triggers.
relationship completely falling apart. They'd publicly argue back and forth about anything and everything, although Wyatt failed to take any of her advice. Because during this period of waiting for his sentence, Wyatt's stepdad proudly announced he got into an altercation and keyed a car while he was out on bail. As a result, Wyatt was rearrested.
How have you so little self-control? How is that even a thing? How can you have just not even an ounce of self-control?
To be jailed until his trial, predicting just beforehand he wouldn't be in for long.
I'm looking at probably a month's time and $10,000.
However, 3 months passed without a word about his trial, and his plan to work out every day didn't exactly happen.
Because I'm gonna just be working out the whole time.
As he'd tell his girlfriend via jail phone, he'd gained 40 pounds or 18 kilos. In the process, Wyatt
Damn, that's a lot.
was facing other issues.
Have you gotten in a fight since you've been in there?
I was attacked.
As more finds out, Wyatt will be serving at least 2 years.
I know I was being delulu, like thinking that this was gonna be like quick and easy and that you were gonna be home soon. The reality is just like very much like hitting me now.
Despite this, Moore had Icy Wyatt tattooed on her neck, live streaming the session during which she'd get a call. On the phone was a debt collector asking for payments on a mattress. They've got all this money apparently, but can't buy a mattress.
Dude, I don't understand this thing, by the way, about TikTok. You don't have a lot of money. If you have a million followers on TikTok, you're not actually making bank. People don't understand this. You're not. The only time you're making bank on TikTok with 1 million followers is if you constantly do some kind of ad read deals or something like that. That is the only time. A million views on a TikTok video is pennies. You do not get a lot of money. And people just don't understand this. They think they can. They think they get a million followers on TikTok, and now they're gonna be set rich for life and whatnot. No, that's not how it works. Let me actually Google that. How much money do you get for a million views on YouTube? Let's replace that with TikTok, second most search term. So for instance, considering the payment amount highlighted above you, you could earn about 20 to 50 for a million views on TikTok. Yeah. And the other source says it's 20 to 40. Honestly, that's more than I expected. I expected 20 to be the pretty much cap, but it also depends on what kind of ads you're getting and things like that. But yeah, you make a TikTok and it gets 5 million views? Well, you know, that's maybe $100 to $200 a day. That's not technically bad, but if you're gonna live a lifestyle, you could actually survive that easily, you know, 1 TikTok per day, maybe 2 TikToks per day. You're actually living a comfy life. But again, that doesn't work on TikTok because you probably need to spend money to, you know, pretend you're fucking famous and shit. So there you kind of go.
Outright. Wyatt's mum then revealed they had payments on their cars, making it obvious they'd financed their whole life and were pretty much broke. 2 months ago,
she has a Loki poster behind. That's a Matrix poster. Do not know what that is. Could be Inception. I can fix her. I can fix her.
Were pretty much broke. 2 months ago, Wyatt vocalized being worried about the cost of a phone call, while his 40-pound weight gain has turned into 70.
I gained 70 pounds by one year. Can you believe that? I've gained almost 100 pounds.
As a lot.
Okay, imagine he's this twink-looking femboy, and she actually cares about the fact that he gains weight. Bruh, I mean, it's a little bit too late.
Can you believe that? I've gained almost 100 pounds.
As a last-ditch effort, Wyatt sent the judge a letter stating, "I feel absolutely terrible and ashamed for the way I handled things with these people. I'm not the type of person to hurt anyone or vandalize people's property. That just isn't who I am or who I want to be," but the judge didn't buy it. I see Wyatt still...
Well, no shit, you have a tattoo on your face. No one's buying it.
Yet to be convicted, having spent 12 months in prison and lost absolutely everything simply...
I hope he loses more. I hope he loses more. Anyway, that was Sunny. 10 out of 10. Bye-bye.